What if you could take your family on a proper off-road adventure on Friday, drop the kids at school on Monday, and never once feel like you made a compromise? That's exactly the promise Ford is making with the 2026 Explorer Tremor, a three-row family SUV that's been given just enough rugged upgrades to back up its tough-sounding name. But does it actually deliver, or is it just another badge job dressed up in plastic cladding? Let's find out. First things first, what even is a Tremor? In Ford's lineup, the Tremor sits just below the hardcore Raptor as the second highest off-road trim. For the Explorer, that means a full inch of extra ground clearance, bringing the total to 8.7 inches. You also get redesigned front and rear bumpers that massively improve the approach, breakover, and departure angles, basically meaning you can tackle steeper ruts and rocks without scraping your bumpers off. Skid plates protect the nose, engine, and fuel tank underneath, and Bridges Tone Dueler at all-terrain tires handle the traction duties. Backed up by a Torsen Mechanical Limited slip rear differential and proper all-wheel drive. These aren't just stickers and lifted suspension, there's genuine hardware here, under the bonnet. Our test car came fitted with the optional 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6, which for 2026 has been slightly detuned to 385 horsepower, down 15 horsepower from last year due to Ford standardizing on a single emissions-compliant tune across all states. Torque stays the same at a healthy 415 pounds-ft though, and honestly, you won't miss those 15 horses. On the strip, it smashes 60 miles per hour in just 5.4 seconds and covers the quarter mile in 14.1 seconds. That's genuinely quick for a big three-row family hauler, and it actually edges out the more powerful Explorer Platinum from last year. Not bad at all. Out on the dirt, the Tremor proves its worth pretty convincingly. The all-terrain tires, a WD system, and limited slip diff combine to give impressive traction on loose surfaces and steep climbs. Ground clearance keeps the belly clear of most trail obstacles, and the reworked bumpers mean you can approach ruts and steps with real confidence. The suspension also deserves a shout-out. It stays composed even at pace on rough dirt roads, so you're not white-knuckling it down a gravel track. This thing will absolutely get you to that lakeside campsite or hunting ground after a rough winter without breaking a sweat. Just don't expect it to follow a Bronco deep into the wilderness. That's not what it's built for. Back on tarmac, the story is largely positive, but not without a couple of gripes. The biggest one is the powertrain's inconsistency in default driving mode. Sometimes you put your foot down and it responds instantly, rockets forward and feels brilliant. Other times it just kind of oozes ahead before eventually deciding to downshift and get going. Switching to sport mode sorts it out completely, but you shouldn't have to dig into drive modes just to get predictable throttle response on your daily commute. That inconsistency gets old fast. Braking is excellent though, firm, progressive, and confidence-inspiring. Even if the tires do add about 6 feet to the stopping distance compared to the standard Platinum on fuel economy. The numbers are what you'd expect from a big V6 with chunky off-road rubber, 17 city, 20 to highway, 19 combined. It's the worst of any Explorer trim, which is worth keeping in mind if you're doing a lot of motorway miles. And then there's the price. The Tremor starts at just over $51,000. But to get the V6, you need to add the $11,850 Ultimate Package, which pushes things well into luxury SUV territory at over $64,000 as tested. That's a lot of money, though in fairness the Ultimate Package bundles in some genuinely great kit: BlueCruise 1.5 hands-free driving, a 14-speaker Bang & Olufsen stereo, massaging front seats, panoramic sunroof, and power folding third-row seats. The BlueCruise system in particular made long motorway stretches genuinely relaxing. One baffling omission though, no wireless phone charger anywhere on the Explorer. In 2026, at this price point, that's just inexcusable. At the end of the day though, the 2026 Ford Explorer Tremor is a genuinely well-rounded package. The off-road upgrades are real and meaningful. The on-road handling compromises are minimal, and as a family SUV, it's comfortable, practical, and surprisingly fun to drive. If your weekends involve more dirt roads than car parks, this is one of the smartest choices in the three-row SUV class right now.